I think beginning of 2023, I like proposed, hey man, there's gonna be a con in LA, and you wanna come hang out with me sometime? It'd be nice to meet you, right? So yeah, that's what we did. Went to AX together. He agreed, and I did most of the planning, right? Who's a little spoon? Bro, we didn't share a bed. We had different beds. This is the layout of our this is the layout of our thing. So hotel room, right? That's his bed. That's my bed. All right. The couch. Okay. Look. Yeah. So this was that was the hotel room. We didn't share a bed, but like, let me see. How do I explain it? Back to what I was talking about. Back to what I was saying. I wish we could have gotten a bigger room for Uki and us, right? But you know, we didn't plan for Uki to come by, right? And he ended up joining us into like the second half of the trip, right? But if like we planned ahead of time, right? If we planned ahead of time, I think we would have been able to get like a third bed or like a room with like more beds. You know what I mean? Did Uki sleep on the couch? No, guys, let me explain. I'll get to that. All right? Be patient. I slept on the couch. I fucking slept on the couch. Right? When Uki came by for later on, for like the last 2 days, I just made a little thing for myself on the couch and let him use my bed, right? Yeah. So I ended up sleeping there instead. Don't tell Uki, don't tell him, right? But that couch was uncomfortable. But hey, anything for him. I think he was like, are you sure you don't want to share a bed? I'm like, I'm very sure, because you know why? I would have rolled over on top of him, and like the bed isn't even that big, right? It's like what? It's not even a queen size. It's like, it's a pretty tiny bed. And that, like, I don't mind cuddling and shit, right? We had a cuddle thing going on with all three of us, but I didn't want to like sleep and roll over and like, you know, be an inconvenience and stuff, because I need my own bed. I definitely need my own bed when it comes to sleeping. It's like, you lost your chance. What do you mean I lost my chance? You shut the fuck up, dude. When I went back to the hotel, right? I was like, oh yeah, right, Vox is in here, right? He's sleeping. He told me when he finally got to the hotel, you know, he just decided to take a nap. I walk into the room, it's dark, I turn the lights on, I see this gorgeous fucker, like, you know, just resting with his eye mask on the other bed, and I'm like, and I kind of like, I don't know what I did. I think I like said boo. I was like, yo, hey, hello. I don't know if I tried to spook him or not, right? And I kind of roused him awake by surprise, and then he finally realized it was me, and then we went in for a hug. But he was still laying down in bed, so it was kind of like awkward. But like, I got to like pick him up and give him a hug. Apparently, he told me this. I don't remember much from after what happened there, because like, I was drunk, right? I was quite a few shots in, but Vox told me that I picked him up bridal style and carried him around the room. I don't know how true that is, because I don't even remember that at all. I was like, really? I don't recall that, but maybe I did. Maybe he lied, not sure, but he told me that's what I did. So I guess that's true, since he wasn't the one that was drunk. Yeah, I was so happy, man. I was so happy to get to see him for the first time, and man, he is, unfortunately, for me, he is taller than me. But hey, at least I feel like I'm stronger. It finally dawned upon me the next morning. I was like, holy shit, dude, we finally met, right? Because like when I woke up the next day, I looked over to him, right? And then I was like, and he looked over to me. We kind of like woke up at the same time. I was like, holy shit, we met each other. And then he was like, yeah, man, we finally met each other. I don't know, it felt so real in the moment. Like the night before, it was like just like a fantasy type of feeling, right? Because I was so dead. But I remember like, yeah, the next day it felt much more real and much more in the moment, like, holy fuck, this is happening. It's the man himself. I got to meet my boy, right? It was really cool. We went to an escape room with each other. We decided to play one and do some puzzles, right? I think Bao told some stories about that. Okay, look, I'm great at puzzles. There were some good ones. I didn't brute force everything. There were some I actually, you know, use my brain to like help solve, but there were a few I definitely brute force. Like I kind of like guessed it and it worked out. I'm like, oh guys, here, look, I did this, I did this, I did this, right? I solved quite a few puzzles, right?
A few moments later.
I remember like there was this glory hole. We had to put our hand through the hole and like open another door, but like I made a joke. I think I was like, hey bro, can you shake my hand, right, through the glory hole, right? And then I made like the jacking off motion. Someone asked, how does Vox look like? All I will say is that he is a very handsome man. He's a very handsome man, all right, with very nice teeth. Monday, me and him actually went around AX for a bit. Dude, this was the day me and Vox went around exploring Artist Alley and like looking at all the merchandise around. And I remember me and him, like whenever we wanted to buy stuff at like an artist booth, we had to like change our voices so that we're not super obvious, right? He had to go for like some kind of like meek American accent, and I decided to go for like my old like 2000, like my 2020 Shoto voice, like you know guys, like a lot higher like this, and like I went for a higher tone and just like talks more softly instead of like what I do right now, you know what I mean? So that's the kind of voice I went for most of the time, and he went for that, you know, American style voice. I don't know, and that was in order to like avoid potentially being recognized by the artist at the booth. I ordered room service. There was no menu. I was like, what's on the menu for dessert? They had coffee ice cream, right? I was like, do you want a coffee ice cream? I was like, sure. Yeah, we got some espresso ice cream. And the guy gave us an option of 3 scoops or 5 scoops, right? And I was like, fuck yeah, let's get 5 scoops of ice cream, right? And when it showed up at the door, I had the most disappointed look on my face afterwards. I was like, oh, thanks. They said 5 scoops, but it was the tiniest portion of ice cream I have ever seen. It was so small, guys. It was like each scoop was the size of like a quarter, bro. Right? And when I showed it to Vox, he like made a pog face, but it was like a disappointed pog face. Apparently Vox threw up at some point because he drank too much, and he got all cozy on the couch. Like, imagine this, everybody's partying, and then like Vox is like on the couch, like wrapped up in a blanket, and I came up to check up on him every now and then, right? And he seemed, I took selfies, dude. Every time like I walked, I like sat next to him and like put my arm around him. I took a selfie with the dude when he was passed out from like being too drunk. It was so cute, man. It was so fucking cute. You know, Vox is really big on living lavish and shit like that, and I'm more of like, I'm happy with my Chipotle and what, home cooked meals from mama. But I know he likes to indulge more often than me, right? So this was like my first fine dining experience, and this was his first in America, right? Yeah, we went to Providence in LA for our fine dining experience. I remember I had such a nice outfit that day. Let me just feel good about myself. Sorry, I don't do this often, but I wore an outfit that I felt really great in. I felt like, I looked in the mirror, I was like, damn. Vox let me borrow his Gucci belt, right? Because I didn't bring a belt, but man, that Gucci belt really tied everything together, and I felt like that was my best outfit yet I've ever worn. And I had to, because like we were going out to eat at a fancy restaurant, right? So I thought like, damn, I needed to do this. I needed to. Gucci belt? Gucci belt, bruh. Yeah, of course Vox would have a Gucci belt, right? Yeah, I know, right? And then, oh yeah, and then when we got back, we met up with Vox at the hotel and chilled out. For some reason, I started dancing with him. I think that was just a very silly moment. And then like we both cuddled Uki in the bed because I think it finally happened. Like we just decided, okay, we brought it and we had like a little cuddle pile. And that's when we did. That's also when, like, before we did the voice tweet at the end of the day, right? Because we felt fine with doing that then, since we were leaving the next day, and it was really nice. We were having such a nice time together, and I was really happy with just getting to meet them, you know. And fuck, I really hope I get to see them again. It was really nice. It's really different getting to hang out with somebody in person like that versus like just, you know, typing to them online and shit. Like, I feel like we really connected a lot more as friends, and I got to know them as who they are, and they got to know me as who I am, and I'm just really happy that, you know, that we got to go on that little vacation trip together. It was very fun. It's one of the best trips I've had. It's one of the best trips I've ever had in my life. Bussy. I love Bussy.